Toyota just announced for this year that the four-cylinder Supra will be introduced.
Four-cylinder Supra?
Yes, the four-cylinder Supra is going to be introduced. Let me see if I can find it for you guys.
Engine, does it?
No, it has the engine out of the...
It doesn't have a Boxster engine, does it?
It has the engine out of the Z4 in Europe, that they have the four-cylinder option.
Yeah.
Do we have that option here for the Z4?
I don't think so.
Early, I mean, the Z3s, had four cylinders.
Yeah, the
but not,
they had the 1.9.
No, I don't know. I don't know the car well enough.
Let me see if I can find it. I
know
know
maybe the first generation Z4.
Well, I know that that it's a new BMW four-cylinder engine.
Why though? Gas?
And I'm guessing.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, hang on. Let me just.
Four-cylinder engine.
Hang on.
$42,000.
That's it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let me pull this up. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, $43,000 gets you a four-cylinder Toyota Supra. Now,
or you could buy a Z4.
Compare that to some of the other vehicles that you could get with that amount of money, like for instance a Mustang GT or an 8.6, a 370Z.
It's the N46.
Do you guys see value in this? Do you guys see it being worth considering? I mean, you even had the CEO of Toyota basically say that if you're already contemplating or looking to do an engine swap on the car itself, you might as well just go with the four-cylinder and not go with the six-cylinder option.
Why are you going to buy it?
But even then,
well, that's very true.
Would you even bother considering putting down $43,000 for a 2021 Toyota Supra?
That's the problem.
I'm sorry, cut you off. What's the price range for the
six-cylinder?
Six-cylinder, yeah.
It starts at 50 or under 50?
I think it's about 50. Yes.
That doesn't make sense. Why
Let
would you
me
even
enhance.
I don't see the
This is, to me,
I mean, saving $8,000. I mean, at that point, you're financing anyways. I would just get the bigger motor. Oh, there you go. You got the breakdown there.
Yeah.
Hang on. Yeah, well, that is the specs right there.
Yeah. Well, then obviously the 2021 3 liter is making more power.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a significant amount of power for just a little bit more money. I mean, it's almost 130 horsepower more. So, I mean, you do get weight savings.
Who buys a $43,000 car saying I'm gonna buy it and swap the motor?
Yeah, that's not very intelligent.
Like totally out of my league. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but
I mean, look, for the regular consumer, that's not very smart. Now, there are people who, I think this is not intended towards like the real hardcore enthusiasts, like we would be if we had that kind of money.
This is like the V6 Camaro.
Yes, it's for people like that. It's for people who just want the car because they like the way it looks, the way it makes them feel in the car.
They want to say
whatever.
they have a Supra.
Yeah, they want to say, oh, I got a Supra. But here's the cool thing. If you do plan on doing a swap like years down the road, I mean, just get a four-cylinder. When the car is, less than $10,000, when that'll be 20 years from now or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, it is about 200 pounds lighter, but...
Yeah, but that's because of the engine.
Right, because of the engine.
But if you're going to swap something else in, whether it be a 2J, well, in 20 years, probably 2Js will probably not be too many.
Okay, so the 3.0s, I understand. I would, if they were selling for like, 38 and there was like a, $10,000, $15,000 difference, I could see buying a four-cylinder. But for like 8 or 9,000, I don't.
If the price were lower and they would call that a Celica, and then the bigger one, the Celica Supra, I think that would be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. I'd go with that
because they're sharing the same platform back like in the 80s.
Correct.
That would be pretty cool. But
when I see it on the road, I'm just like, it doesn't like.
I'll be honest.
I see it on the road and I don't really. Honestly, it doesn't like. I glanced. I was like, oh, that's a Supra.
Honestly, yeah, it's a good looking car, but it's not something that makes me like, ooh, I need to have that. But
that motor comes in a 302 horsepower variant. I don't know why they didn't give it that. Yeah.
But when I see it like with the body kit and all that stuff, like some of the ones there's a Toyo Tires car in Japan that's absolutely sick. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was like, okay, like that, yeah, I can't deny it. Or the HKS car, it looks amazing.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cars you could do that too. I mean, you could make Ford Escort look pretty cool if you start throwing wide body kits on it and like.
Oh,
all
yeah.
that,
That's-
Or a Monster Protege.
yeah, Monster Protege. Yeah, exactly. It's white flame on it.
Yeah. Now the thing is like, okay, is that actually correctly like is the rating correct? 255 horsepower? Because then.
Yeah, it's
That-
right here. I'm talking
Oh,
about.
well, no,
but
because
does it go on a dyno? Like, are those
Yeah.
exaggerated numbers? Is that crank power or is that wheel power?
okay, because if that's
You know,
the
it's got 295 foot-pounds of torque.
okay,
It's got a lot of
so
torque.
yeah, it's
So
got a
is my
lot of torque.
350Z.
But all right, here's what I'm getting at. Because if that's the actual rating and it only makes 255, then it's an even worse deal because the 3-liter makes more power than it's advertised. It makes 382 horsepower on paper, but no, when you put it on the dyno, it makes that to the wheels.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it's really like, 420, 430 horsepower car.
Well, that's good then.
So like for $8,000 more, you're getting a car with almost twice the power.
Right. But like you say, it goes back to somebody that wants a Supra, but isn't really concerned about the speed of it. They just want it because they like the way it looks. Like I said, it's like a V6 Camaro.
Hey, if they're gonna try to save $8,000 over that, I don't know what to say. That's kind of
Well,
rough.
didn't Mustang have a 4-cylinder Mustang?
Yeah, they
Yes.
have the EcoBoost Mustang.
So
And
that's-
and that's something that Guillermo brought up is
Yeah,
compare the 4-cylinder Mustang, the EcoBoost, the whole favorite engine,
Oh God.
with the 4-cylinder from the Supra. I mean,
So if you put a 4-cylinder
hard
EcoBoost into an Altima, you would probably explode. It probably would explode.
I don't like either thing. But for now, from what I'm seeing, is that the EcoBoost with the current ratings, I mean, is still a better engine. I mean, you're making way more power. Now, I don't know, this new engine hasn't been out long enough to
What are
be
you
truly
talking about?
tested.
I just looked it up. I've been using this engine from 2015.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
2014 to present. It's been in Mini Coopers. It's been in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I did. Well, but in U.S. market,
They're gonna sell them. They're definitely gonna sell them.
This variant is in the 630i, 330i, Z4. It's in the 730i, 740e.
that sounds a
It's
lot.
in a G22, which is a 430i. It's in
It
a
sounds a
Morgan
lot like
Plus 4,
very
whatever the hell.
European
Morgan Plus-
market.
Morgan.
What's a Morgan Plus 4? It's a British car.
Yeah, that's a British.
No
Isn't
idea.
that the car they used to always destroy in Top Gear back in the day?
no, that's a Reliant Robin,
Wait,
I think.
No, the
Weren't
Reliant
the
Robin is
old-
3 but the Morgan, they would always have him followed by a Morgan because the loser would have to drive it. Was that the car? I don't know.
The old Morgans were made out of wood. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So there's a little tidbit for you.
Guillermo says it's a new B48. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
it
what I
says.
just said.
Okay, so yeah, so it's a newer engine that hasn't been tested much in America. I don't know how it's gonna do. At least horsepower rating wise, I mean the EcoBoost has it beat.